Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Loosemore.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And it's Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. So you know what that means. I'm here with my guys talking some college football. And you see this guy right next to me. You see this guy, Mr. Host of Restoring the Roar and Mr. Michigan himself, Alex Loosemore. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. 2-3 weeks away from college football being back. I guess it depends whether you're playing week 0 or week 1, but it's just around the corner. We got the coaches poll. The AP poll should be coming out right away. There's stuff to talk about again. Fall camp's underway. Football is back. Yes.
And it could not have come back soon enough. It's still not here officially, but we're getting there. We're right there. We're 18 days away. You see who's right under him, sitting in front of touchdown Jesus, 1 win away and ready to get back to the top. My guy, partially in the ACC, Notre Dame's finest, Eric Kelly. What up, Eric?
You only want us when we're good, huh? Then you throw us out any other time. I was so zoned in, and then I looked at a quick glance at this poll, which I know we're going to get into, and how the heck is Michigan in the top 15 next to South Carolina?
Because there's only one team that had a better last month than us, and it's the team that won the Natty. We took them out. So
wow,
nobody had a better finish than us. We had the best defense the last 4 games.
Let's move on to the guy who deserves credit for the deserving number 13 team.
Hey, you see him right there, and it is just like on the map. North Carolina is above it, South Carolina is below. But you see the guy in the garden, my guy, and the host of Washington Football Weekly, Will Kramer. What up, Will?
Hey, fellas, it's August, like Alex mentioned. Football's here. We're not quite there, but here in Columbia, August means return to campus for South Carolina students. And you all already heard this, but tomorrow we start school. So, the fall starts. Stuff is happening.
Wow. My goodness, school is back right around the corner. I'm not looking forward to that. All those daggone buses. I get off at 3:00 now, so I'm right behind all the buses and all that mess. So I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't want any part of it. But yes, the summer is almost over, which means college football is back. Gentlemen, we have basically made it. We're in training camp. We're coming down the wire. We have 18 days to go until August 23rd. When we get into our week 0 matchups. And listen, week 0 matchups are for those people that just love the game and they just need football. Okay? We're not expecting blockbuster matchups. We're expecting football. And that is exactly what they give us. They give us their first game in Dublin, Iowa State and Kansas State. Then at 4:00, they have the Idaho State UNLV. Then Fresno State goes to Kansas at 6:30. Sam Houston State goes to Western Kentucky at 7, and Stanford goes to Hawaii at 7:30. Gentlemen, is there any game on there that you're like, I got to make it home for this one?
I'm excited for the first one. That Dublin game, Iowa State, Kansas State. I think that is going to be a great game. Yep. The one last year was way more exciting than any of us thought it was going to be between Georgia Tech and Florida State. These are going to be 2 ranked teams probably right off the bat, Iowa State, Kansas State. You look at how they were last year. Iowa State was in the Big 12 championship game. Kansas State was one of those teams that due to tiebreakers was unfortunately just left out. But these are 2 really good teams coached by 2 really good coaches. And I think it's going to be a really fun one to watch.
Mm-hmm. Who is Kansas State's head coach?
Chris Kleiman.
Where'd he come from before that? I'm not familiar.
He's been at Kansas State a few years now.
Really?
He's been helping build them up to what they're at now.
Gotcha. I do love Matt Campbell. Like that's my reason for watching it because
He was the one I wanted when Jim left.
Yes, he was the one that I wanted when South Carolina was trying to get hired. I'm like, that's a little bit of a stretch. He's fantastic. But when I think of that game in Dublin, I mean, for one, I think it's a great showcase for college football. Go overseas. This is your chance to spread the game. And then obviously the game last year was much better than we all anticipated. But I'm just going to tune in to see how drunk Pat McAfee gets in the pregame show again, because he was swinging them Guinness last year, and it was rowdy.
So, Kleiman, just a quick update here. He's been at Kansas State since 2019, where he spent the previous 4 years before that at North Dakota State. He was the head coach for Carson Wentz and all them at North Dakota State.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Legacy out there.
4 NCAA championships in 5 seasons.
Excellent.
Wow, sounds like my NCAA 25 dynasty. Oh, hey. Speaking of Kansas State, EK, man, Dublin, is that the game you're interested in, or does Sam Houston State and Western Kentucky, is that more your fancy?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. The Iowa State, K-State is, I mean, it's clearly the breadwinner of that week. I think I see playoff team emerging from those two. I think Kansas State is going to be the representative out in the Big 12. So hopefully they don't get me wrong as soon as the season starts. But, there's interesting other ones there. I mean, Fresno State, Kansas, it'll be interesting to see how Lance Leopold does in another year with Kansas. And then it's a terrible game, Stanford and Hawaii, but there's a nostalgia in me that thinks back to Timmy Chang and Colt Brennan and just wishing that I could turn on the television and they're going to light it up again. That's not going to happen, but I'm going to believe it for the next couple weeks that those possibilities are out there. And Stanford, that's an interesting situation, as big of a dumpster fire as it's been with the Troy Taylor
They went through
arrest.
a ton of changes.
Yeah, they lost so much their roster. Who is it Frank Reich? Who's out there?
Frank Reich is the head coach under GM Andrew Luck.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see, because I actually thought Troy Taylor was going to do something interesting at Stanford, but then he turned out to be a terrible human being. So cut that short. So
yeah.
But yeah, anything on there, Sean, we're degenerates. We all laugh about Idaho State and UNLV, but I know that all 4 of us will be itching to turn it on come 4 o'clock on August the 23rd.
I mean, the one thing to think about is, even though, like you said, they might not be the most exciting games, think about all the change UNLV went through this year. Mullins there, who's going to play quarterback out of Calandria, and Alex Orji. Fresno State just lost their quarterback, Mikey Keene, who's taking over the position there. Kansas just lost a ton of players to the draft this past year. We just talked about all the changes at Stanford. So there's a lot of new pieces there that we're going to see a lot of what these teams are right off the bat.
And Butch just got an extension at Western Kentucky, didn't he? Once one of the bells of the
believe
ball.
So. Yeah.
He was following PK everywhere. Yeah.
Or wait, no, Butch Jones is at Arkansas State.
I got it wrong. All right. Who's at Western Kentucky then?
That's a good question.
I thought it was somebody, but
it was Braum. But did he go to Louisville?
Tyson Helton.
Oh, okay. All right.
Interesting. I was like, they've had some damn good quarterbacks under him.
Yes, they have.
2 of the best quarterback seasons in recent memory.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I mean, we're watching it because it's football. And to your point, Alex, I am interested to see what Mullen brings out with the first week, albeit he's playing Idaho State. But we've seen Idaho State kind of hang in there. What was it, a year ago that they lost 24-14 to Boise or something like that? Or, they played that first game tough. Maybe it wasn't Boise. But they played that first game tough. So we'll see. But again, it's just football. Let's go real quick to the next week. Starting on the Thursday, are there any games in that first weekend that we're really looking to, if starting with Thursday and then going forward?
Yeah, so
I
Will
mean,
tipped me
uh,
off to Wisconsin, Miami, just because
Yeah.
of jump around. I just want to
I'll
see
be-
jump around.
Yeah.
I'll be watching at 8:00 Minnesota, and then I'll be watching at 9:00. And y'all hearing this, you Big Ten fans on here? I'm saying I'll be tuning into some Big Ten games, but no, I can't say anything on Thursday night. Really excites me from a fan perspective.
I'm gonna say there's 2 games, just because of one, kind of seeing some stuff from how the coaches voted on that poll. Buffalo, Minnesota is actually quite interesting to me because Buffalo was a team that started to get some votes there. So maybe there's something there that we're not necessarily seeing. And then the other one for me, just because it's 2 teams that kind of need to figure out who they are and what they are, Nebraska at Cincinnati.
Ooh,
Matt Rule, Dylan Raiola, they got to figure some stuff out here, get some movement there. And then Cincinnati's kind of been just sputtering after Luke Fickell left for Wisconsin. So,
I love that. Yeah, where I'm going first and foremost is Boise State at South Florida. Boise State, obviously, we know had Ashton Genty last year. He is now in the NFL, so obviously there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of production missing from that. And then South Florida, they gave Bama everything they can handle. A year ago. So I want to see what they're doing this year and how they're bringing it back. And the other one is as a North Carolina matchup, NC State versus ECU. I love the in-state matchups, but North Carolina State beat us. The last couple years they've had definitely some talent that's gone in the pros, and they've been on the upswing. And then ECU has their moments, but they always kind of play this game tough. So nothing blockbuster, but definitely for a Thursday game, those two are definitely catch my eye.
You want to talk about those in-state games? Delaware's first game as a Division I football team hosts Delaware State.
Come on, I love it. And that's Coach Deshaun Jackson, right? At Delaware State.
Oh yeah,
I
forgot
think
about
so.
that.
So that's that first matchup, and I'm going to be eager to see that. And then who you got? Vic at Norfolk State. I don't think they don't play on Thursday, but those are the ones. Those are definitely ones I'm interested in seeing. EK, what you think? Anything on here, or we want to go to Friday?
No, I'll piggyback off of Alex. The Cincinnati, Nebraska. It feels like even under Scott Frost, it was like we're one win away from starting the trend. And if they start 0-1, oh my goodness, are they Nebraska fans just in for it? And then we got baby Mahomes, the dude who, Mr. Raiola, is he going to be the real deal? So super excited to see what's happening there. And then same thing with Fickell in Wisconsin. I hope they give him time, but Miami of Ohio is not a joke for a MAC team. That has been a consistently good MAC team. And if that offense in Wisconsin can't get something going, that could be a sneaky game to start the season.
Wisconsin has Billy football under center now, so
that's right.
Don't worry about them.
All things are fixed.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up or not.
Good old Wisconsin. All right, let's go to the Friday games where, again, a lot of the same stuff. In recent years, I would have been forced to watch the Michigan State Western Michigan game, but I will be missing that one this year. But the Colorado State Georgia Tech game really intrigues me. We know what Georgia Tech did, where they went toe-to-toe with Georgia a year ago. And obviously, we're going to have a conversation about not Colorado State, Colorado. We're going to have a conversation about Colorado and, everything with Deion and their quarterback conversation. So that game really kind of piques my interest. That one in the Auburn-Baylor game. You got the Big 12 versus the SEC. Auburn's got talent, and I really feel like they might be on the way back. But I'm interested in that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll throw out a couple here. My prediction for the Group of 5 playoff team plays on Friday. That's App State. I got them winning the Sun Belt and being the Group of 5 team to make the playoff. they go to Charlotte for the Duke's Mayo Classic there. I want to see if they're legit or not. I know Charlotte's not that big of a test, but they should be able to put them down and put them down early if they're as good of a team as I, for one, think they are. And then, obviously, the two you mentioned, but then my other one that I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch, Central Michigan at San Jose State. San Jose State's been fun to watch. Nick Nash was the leading receiver last year in the country. He's gone. So who's going to be taking over there? It's not your big blockbuster game, but for those group of 5, that next level schools, I think that's an interesting matchup.
Oh yeah, Chippewa is always fun to watch.
I said, Will does not approve.
No. I mean, you are a college football nerd when you are rattling off all that stuff, and I love it. I love you for it. It's incredible. But how you're just like, I just can't wait to see how San Jose State recovers. It's like, oh my, you love this stuff. You really do. No, you know what I'm thinking here? Like Sean, 2 years ago, Duke's Mayo must have just blown all their money on North Carolina, South Carolina.
Right.
They're going to App State and Charlotte in the Panthers Stadium.
Yeah.
It's a great regional contest. It makes a lot of sense. That's a lot of fun. But Duke's Mayo, come on now.
It's what it is. And it is funny because both blockbuster teams when we were playing and everything, and they've kind of come down. But a lot of teams, a lot of games. We'll see. AK, anything on Friday?
Well, let's start with the fact that maybe the reason it's not App State, North Carolina is because Mac Brown said he didn't want to play App State no more. You remember that a couple years
Bill
ago.
Belichick saw what happened. He's like, no, we're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
So
we also took JMU off our schedule.
Maybe
actually no,
North Carolina. maybe App State's the big dog to North Carolina.
There's a lot of big dogs, right?
we've already had a bit of a not heated, but we've gone at it a little bit in our chat about Georgia Tech and Colorado. I stood on one side pretty firmly that I'm convinced that Georgia Tech has taken that game, and a couple other people in the chat feel pretty strongly that Colorado can put up a good fight. So that's the first one that I feel like as a group that we throw in our little chat that really kind of got some stuff going. So it's one of those early games like, oh, well, am I going to have to eat my words? So those are always fun to tune into. Georgia Tech's got a great head coach, or great young head coach who's really doing something special at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
They've got a quarterback who is unorthodox, but is effective. Yeah. He is not the prettiest thing to watch, but he gets the job done. So really just interested to see how that matchup plays out. And then, we're going to dive, I'm sure, into Colorado at some point. So I'll leave that for later. But Auburn, Baylor, Hugh Freeze. Now's the time. Same thing for Aranda at Baylor. Things were looking good for him for a while, and they kind of took a bit of a nosedive. So
they found their quarterback again. Now that's
absolutely.
That's big. Sawyer Robertson looks legit there.
Yep. Yeah. So, but that's one of those things. Both these teams, both these schools need a win, and somebody is starting 0-1. So. Just those are some fascinating things to see. And then you see new eras at Wake Forest. I know not everybody was on the Dave Clawson wagon like I was, but I thought he was very innovative, and the dude won everywhere he was. So kind of sad to see that page turn. And then you got Michigan State, Sean. They're playing. They might lose to Western Michigan.
I don't have to watch them anymore. I don't have to watch them. Okay?
I'm just having fun. All right? I'm just having fun. So.
I'm good. I've been released from that bondage. All right. All right. And look, oh yes, because it was hard to watch. Tried to be like, they're gonna get better.
Hey, you got one good year out of Mel Tucker.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was solid, and I enjoyed
Wow.
it. That 5
2021 was a
touchdowns he
fun
put up against
season.
y'all. It was a good year. But when you propose to your fiance on the same night that Alabama destroys them in the BCS or the playoff or whatever,
First round of the playoff, I think. Yeah.
yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. What's going on, Anthony Handy? Speaking of Anthony, let's go to the Saturday games where
Speeding right through.
all the big name games come out. Syracuse at Tennessee, obviously 1-2 with Texas at Ohio State. Handy's Georgia Bulldogs have Marshall coming into town. Bama goes to Florida State. Just game after game after game. What are some of the blockbuster games you see either here or Sunday or Monday night where Bill Belichick gets that prime time?
Well, I would have said that surprised the Marshall game wasn't in November, but that's too strong an opponent for that last weekend before Thanksgiving for an SEC opponent.
They're not
Anyway.
in state.
Cupcake.
Obviously you've got Texas, Ohio State. You've got all those big marquee matchups. The one underrated one I'm very excited to see, Syracuse and Tennessee. I think that's two teams that'll probably start off ranked. I think Syracuse is a very good team. We'll see what they look like without Kyle McCord, without the running back, they lost their top two receivers as well. Like they lost a lot offensively, so they need to regroup there. But I believe in Fran Brown, their coach there. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. I think he'll retool there, and it's a good test for them week one, and then see what Tennessee looks like without Nico Iamaleava. I was really hoping the Central Michigan San Jose State game was at Central Michigan because I was going to make that joke, but I saw they were on the road, so I left it. But yeah, so that one there. Alabama's going to beat the brakes off Florida State. What else we got here?
I got a game for you that Sean you would love, and Alex you probably would. So put this on your split screen. VMI Navy, the triple option battle.
Yes.
You want a different type of football game. That's what that one's going to be. I won't be watching it, but
as an offensive lineman, I love those kind of games.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I found my other one.
Okay.
Saturday night, bringing up Kansas State again. They host North Dakota. North Dakota State, South Dakota State. They've all kind of started running that Div 3. Well, North Dakota State's continued to. But North Dakota has also become a damn good football team in Div 3. And we always see pretty much one a year where one of those schools comes up and steals one from a good Division I football team. So maybe that's the one this year.
Could be.
Yep. Go for it,
Go ahead.
DK.
Oh, sneaky game that I'm interested in is Toledo, Kentucky. Jason Candle, I think, is one of the best coaches in college football at Toledo, and he's one of those guys that, God forbid, Marcus never leave me. But if he did, Jason Candle would be on that short list. So really intrigued by that matchup, as well as seeing, to Alex's point, does Florida State have a pulse against Alabama? Like, can they get 20 points? Can they lose by less than 30? It'll be really interesting for Mike Norvell. And then outside of the game that I certainly have interest in on Sunday, there's a game that's going to happen in South Carolina where they're debating where the real Death Valley is. And, this is such a fun matchup because I'm not sure who LSU is and I'm not sure who Clemson is, but everybody thinks they're both going to be really good.
And two of the most experienced quarterbacks in college ball right now, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But great defenses.
Absolutely. So I'll defer to Will because I think he had some insight on that one, but I'm really intrigued by what happens in Death Valley that night.
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously the two big marquee games are probably where the only little bits of action I'm going to get in because, as I told you all, I booked a beach vacation for us that weekend. Not really thinking about this. But so definitely the noon game, because you all know I love Arch. I want to see how that turns out, and I do think that LSU Clemson game is going to be that's one of the top games, or could be the top games of the season. Really excited for that. The one that I'm going to point out that's a little bit of a watch out is going to be, and this is where I thought you were going, EK. It's going to be Coastal Carolina going up to Charlottesville and playing Virginia. I'd be a little nervous. Tony Elliott has not gotten it going there at all. And Coastal's been one of those teams that has been fairly good in the Sun Belt. They got MJ Morris is their quarterback. He's the guy who played like 3 games at NC State and then said, I'm out, transferring. And he won all 3 games. He didn't get a whole lot of playing time at Maryland last year. Didn't look very good either. And then they recruited over him. So that could be a sneaky lookout, Virginia. They got someone coming that could beat them in their backyard.
Mm-hmm. Like that. Oh yeah, excited about that. Now, as we know, we all have week 1 matchups. Alex, you play New Mexico. I believe.
Is that a week 1 matchup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a competitive.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were giving somebody crap a little while ago about
no.
Non-competitive
See,
games. No, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't have the problem with. Okay, we can talk about Notre Dame's schedule if you really want to get down to it.
That's my line.
Yeah. So let's talk after weeks 1 and 2. When we play 2 good teams to start the season, but then we can talk about it. But
hey, we play a good
we're
team
talking about
week 2.
New Mexico.
We play a good team week 2.
New Mexico.
We go 2 Norman week 2. So
all right, you continue. Pump New Mexico. Go ahead.
Oh no, we're gonna beat the brakes off New Mexico. I'm not. I'm not saying that's a good matchup at all. I'm just excited to see Bryce. That's what I want to see. I'd be shocked if New Mexico gets 10 points because this defense is going to be phenomenal this year. I'm excited to see the running backs, the O-line. We did quite a bit of retooling there. And the offense cannot be worse than it was last year. There was only 3 schools that passed worse than us last year. And it was the 3 academies. That is it. Every other Division I school had a better passing offense than Michigan last year. It literally cannot go worse.
But you still beat Alabama.
And Ohio State.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Scoring, 32 points, I think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to watch, but definitely got the W. Now, Jerome Moore, isn't he going to be suspended those first couple games?
No, so it's a stupid suspension. It's weeks 3 and 4.
Oh.
Because he's an Oklahoma alum. So he's going to coach against his alumni or alum school, and then he's suspended for Central Michigan and Nebraska.
Okay. Oh, Nebraska. That's
because it's his alma mater, not because it's the most dangerous team that you're playing in the first 4 weeks. I'm not trying to give
there's also that. There's also that. Don't get me wrong.
That's just interesting how that kind of stuff shakes out. It's just like, we'll pick the games that we're gonna not have our head coach for.
Oh, I thought it was beyond stupid.
It was self-imposed.
And I give Alex crap no matter what. He knows that most of what I say to him is just absolute, just throwing stuff at the wall just to see if anything sticks. But yeah, I'm absolutely fascinated to see what happens with Underwood and that defense coming back in particular. Michigan, they're in this really weird, they could be a playoff team or they could be an 8-win team. I'm just not sure who they are.
Well, here's the thing. They won 8 games last year with the 131st passing offense. Or
but you're also 2 years removed now from Jim Harbaugh. And Sharon he may be a great coach, but there's lots of times guys leave and the foundation isn't the same as it was. So for the good of college football, I do hope that you're good. I just don't know exactly what's going on there. And it might be something great, but
for me, I think we're a playoff team again this year, partly because as far as the conference schedule shakes out, we got it really good. We don't play Penn State. We don't play Oregon. we don't play Illinois, and we don't play Iowa. The only tough conference game we have is Ohio State. I mean, you could call the road game against USC potentially tough because it's in the Coliseum. I think we still win that game. But to me, it's if we go into Norman and beat Oklahoma, which isn't going to be easy this year with Mateer, Ott, and what they've rebuilt there offensively in Oklahoma, I think it's very realistic to say we're undefeated going into that Ohio State game. Just for the sheer just the lack of depth essentially in our schedule as far as the conference schedule lines up.
So would you say, this is a loaded question, you're a playoff team as far as you think you can get to the playoffs, but do you think you're a playoff team as far as you will belong and will be able to compete in the playoffs?
I think yes, just because stylistically how we play is tough for a lot of teams. I mean, you saw it the last 2 games of our season there last year where we can go and play our style of ball against essentially anybody, where we can run the ball and play defense and just choke you into a low scoring game, which we're great at playing those games. So I think do I think we have a shot at the national championship? No. I think we could win a playoff game this year. And then I think that's probably our ceiling.
That's fair. It's just good to hear from your perspective because I know you're honest about what you see. So
yeah,
thank you for that, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And look, so going to the Sunday games, the blockbuster game, starting with our guy below me, South Carolina is hosting Virginia Tech. Definitely got a lot of eyes on this game. Want to see the Heisman candidate, early Heisman candidate, Lenora Sellers.
And one of the best defensive players in the league too. Don't miss that either. Dylan Stewart is legit.
Yes,
he's pretty good.
Way he gets off that ball. What are you expecting out of week 1, Will?
I'll be honest. I'm not worried about this game at all. And I think maybe if it was up in Blacksburg and it was a night game, that might change things a little bit. But, I think there's, this is, Shane's going up against the school that his dad built. There's some extra motivation there. I don't feel there's any motivation of you should have hired me because he was still such a really unknown assistant when he came to South Carolina. But it's more just saying look who I am. My dad was Virginia Tech, but this is me. So I think there's just a little bit more there for him. Virginia Tech has a pretty good quarterback, but I don't know what else they have after that, truthfully. And so they had a couple guys that went to the NFL, so that's going to, hurt the offense a little bit. So for a week 1 matchup, I'm not too worried about this, and that I just don't know. I want to see what Sellers does on offense. But everyone's kind of really excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now going to what they were just talking about, you guys were potentially 1 game out. That a couple bad calls against LSU.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I'm
with you on that one. Well, I won't let that one go.
Oh, no, that was awful. I watched that whole game. But you literally go maybe 1 game out of making to potentially the playoff. Is it one of those things where it's playoff or bust this year? Or how high are you up on this team?
Here's the thing. I don't think that this is that type of program to say playoff or bust. Lenora Sellers jumped onto the scene last year towards the end of the season. I still need to see him progress as a passer. He was an incredible runner in that Clemson game, but while he did have a great pass in the end zone to win the game that got tipped away by the Clemson defender, he made a great play on the ball, but it's he's not a developed quarterback right now. So I can't be sitting here, saying he should be a top 5 NFL quarterback because he's not much of a passer. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. And with South Carolina, I say it every single year. 9 wins is a blessing. 8 wins is a darn good season. So no, I'm not playoffs or bust.
Yeah, and according to you, it's 11 wins if they're in the ACC. So
it would be. Well, that's obvious. I don't say 11. I say 10.
11.
Look at this
the bowl game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look
I'm
at
with
this
you.
last 7-game stretch for South Carolina, and that's legit. 6 of the last 7 are tough games. They're the typical game I mentioned earlier in there. But you're at LSU, then the next week host Oklahoma, then host Alabama, then at Ole Miss, then at Texas A&M, bye week in between Ole Miss and A&M. Then you get Coastal coming to you, but then the game against Clemson as well. That's if they are at 9-10 wins, that's a playoff team.
Could be. Yeah, they're gonna have to get about 4 of those right there. So they need to load up early and start the season 5-0 to get that cushion.
Can I throw one little tidbit in here? Virginia Tech, so sad what a shell of a program like it is now of what it was all of 10 years ago, and especially 20 years ago. With that said, South Carolina, I know Will said it's not playoff or bust. I agree with him 100% on that. But here's the thing with South Carolina is that nobody in the country wants that team on their schedule. So it may not be, you may not be looking at the playoff outlook, but I guarantee you it would give me sleepless nights on Thursday and Friday if South Carolina was on the schedule.
See, those are the ones I get
on a given
fired up
day,
for.
on a given day, you could beat anybody.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
They're a very hungry program. They play hard.
And insanely talented.
Yep.
And they follow the energy of your coach. And I think maybe that was the question. I think that might have been the better question. With your ceiling normally being 8 to 9 games, is this the team the best that gives you the best opportunity to potentially win 10 and get into the playoff?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's been stockpiling. They had a pretty good squad that year with Rattler, but he has been stockpiling some talent. So yeah, absolutely. Like if they're going to have a team to do it, this does seem to be the best opportunity they've had in years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of playoff teams, team that came 1 win away plays Miami at Miami that night. Notre Dame. EK Holiday, you want to talk about the spotlight? How you feeling, man?
I don't know, man. Playing with house money at the moment. Had a great season, expecting big things, but at the end of the day, when you put a new guy under center, you never know ultimately what's going to end up happening. So
Miami's doing the same thing too, though.
I was about to say both teams.
No, both teams are, but they also have a guy who has played in big games before, whether or not the Georgia fans that are in the live stream watching believe he was their guy or not back in December. Debates to be left in the past. Carson Beck is a good college quarterback, and I
want to see how he looks off Tommy John surgery.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I don't disagree, but he's proven that he is a competent, good college quarterback nonetheless.
Yes.
So from that standpoint, I think they're at a slight advantage. Our roster is not that much different than it was last year. So the expectations of the fan base are a little higher than they typically are going into a season, even though we are obnoxious and we always think we're going to win. There's a little bit more support to that right now. But the question is, with that loaded roster, where guys are coming back at every level in the 2 deep, can the quarterback put everything together for everybody? And I can't answer that question for you at the moment. I do think the upside of the team is higher than it's ever been because of the potential of the quarterback.
2 words to help out that quarterback: Jeremiah Love.
Yes.
Hand the ball to that guy 40 times that Sunday.
Oh yeah.
we got 3 running backs on the Doak Walker watch list, my friend.
You got the best running back in football. Use him. Use that offensive line. And to me, if you don't have to early in the season, especially, don't make Carr win you the game.
Correct.
Rely on that run game, rely on that defense, and I think you're fine against Miami. Even though it's gonna be a ugly game, it's gonna be a close game between two really good teams.
Yeah. Don't give Carr the job yet because we haven't given him the job yet.
Fair.
But I'm rooting for both my guys. But
saw him as my transfer quarterback in the video game. That's all I needed to see.
That's so funny. That was so great.
So obnoxious. It's the worst. Now I remember why. Oh man,
Bryce transferred because of it, but
the team could do the darn thing if everything hits right. But that's a tough thing to ask. So I'm gonna enjoy the ride, and then we're gonna see where this thing goes. And Georgia. I had to lean into the screen another time.
Yes.
Sorry, Anthony.
Who's your DC this year? Now the Golden's in Cincinnati.
So Chris Ash is the DC. He was co-DC on one of the Ohio State Urban Meyer championship teams. He was head coach at Rutgers for a little while. That didn't go well. It was not the sexiest hire, but
solid one,
but the Urban Meyers of the world and some other big-time coaches have come out and said the guy is brilliant. So, I mean, we'll see what we see. Worst case scenario, the defense can't drop off that much in 1 year. So I expect we'll be pretty good on that side of the ball again. So
I can dig it. I believe it. Absolutely.
I'm trying to temper myself, Sean. I'm trying.
I know. I'm not going to ask you the same
doing the
question.
opposite. I'm just going to keep.
Right. I'm not going to ask you, is this national championship or bust? Because I know you don't want to answer that question. But
no. I never believe in national championship or bust. I mean, I know that's what we claim is we don't play for conference championships. We play for national.
Well, you can't play for conference championships.
Well, exactly.
But...
Right.
We can and we have. So slow your roll, my friend.
We
lost an ACC championship game. So, with that said,
you couldn't even win the conference. You were in for 1 year.
All you can do is, who is this guy with this 8-6 team?
We beat the team y'all couldn't beat to win the championship. Sorry.
You beat the team that didn't show up like they did for everybody else with your triple option offense and your coach who cries when his head coach isn't there. And he's going to get suspended for 2 games that don't matter. So, yes. But all that to say, Sean, is that, like, you can't call it national championship or bust because you don't know what's going to happen during the year. You don't know who's going to get hurt. You don't know what amazing players are going to step up on the other squads. What miracles happen. Like, you just got to enjoy college football and the season for what it is. Some of my favorites, I mean, here you go, Alex. Here's a easy lob for you. None of my favorite seasons have ended with a national championship. So
the majority of mine didn't either. So.
Yeah. So just you got to enjoy it, and it's not a bust if you don't do it. It's seeing the growth. It's seeing your team fight, and at the end of the day, if they come out like South Carolina and they play with their hair on fire, then I'm going to be proud, even if they go 0-12. So.
No, you're not. You will be blowing up the chat, just saying, "Oh, what the hell is this?" No.
That's one thing. That's one thing I can tell you without a doubt is when they've gone out and they've laid it all on the field. I've always been proud of that team.
Yes.
Now the times they've given up and they've quit, and you can see that, then it's a completely different thing. That doesn't mean I won't be pissed at Marcus Freeman when we go 0-12. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, this is more than football. This has just become
You're
part of
so
our lives.
mature, EK.
It is.
Wait till week 1.
A lot of what he's saying, though, makes sense for certain schools, because for schools like Notre Dame and Michigan, for example, and some of those schools, you can kind of bank on your guys being there 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. We don't typically lose guys to the transfer portal. So where he's saying it's about the growth and and that kind of stuff, it makes a lot of sense hearing that, because you can bank on these young players growing and developing, and okay, this might not be the year, but a year or two down the road, it might be again.
Right. And then you go to my team, where I'm happy that we've made it to the season with all that mess about Jordan and Bill and all that nonsense. But honestly, oh, right. Well, exactly. But be honest with you, there's a whole lot of questions. Obviously, we kind of got a QB discussion with the transfer redshirt freshman Gio Lopez, and then the Max Johnson, who got hurt in the first game last year, and now he's back. Two totally different styles. Lopez is more mobile. Max Johnson is more of just a pocket passer, kind of like his dad Brad. So we'll see. And with that, you got to figure out, okay, well, if we go with Geo, then we might go with a little RPO, a little spread. We go with Max, then it's going to be more heavily pass based. Also, we lost Omarion Hampton to the league. Hood came back. He had transferred out, our other running back, but now he's coming back, most likely to be the starter for us. But there's a lot of questions with Mac leaving, Bill in here now. And then, we had like a top 15 transfer class that came in, but guys still got to mesh. You still got to play together. And let's be honest, that there's that first year of Bill Belichick in there. We know what he did in the pros, but this ain't the pros. And it's very different. And we haven't seen many people transition from pros to college. We've seen them do, well, you could say Saban. He was college first, right? College, then he went to Miami, and then came
Michigan
back.
State, and then LSU, and then Miami, and then Bama. So
It has happened, but this is definitely something. And one of the things I think is interesting is a lot of people were kind of talking about it. Bill was still kind of keeping his ear to the NFL, saying, if there's a job that comes available, you know what I mean? So they were kind of talking about
clause in his contract.
Right, that's exactly.
He was ready to go.
So we really don't know. And, since he has that little young thing on his arm, she's definitely going to go where the money goes. So we'll see. And then on top of all that, we're playing a TCU team that was 9-3, 9-4 last year, was in the race in the Big 12. So it's not going to be an easy one, but blockbuster Monday night. Everybody wants to kind of see what Bill is going to do in Chapel Hill, Chapel Bill, so we'll see what happens. But I will be tuned into that, but I have no expectations. None. We either win, I don't know.
It's hard when you don't know what to expect, right? Like there's so many changing parts at UNC right now. It's like, what are we getting from Bill Belichick at the college level?
Yeah, it makes me jump back, and this is a weird comparison, and I'm not comparing the two at all, but there was an existing relationship when it happened. But when we got Charlie from the Patriots, our roster was pretty terrible. And for about 2 years, like this out scheming was working against most teams. Like he was able to beat them on the whiteboard. Now recruiting became an issue because he wasn't too invested in it, and he wasn't too invested in the time he spent with anybody beyond the first string. But there was an immediate jump, like in the quality of football the team was playing as a whole, just from the good coaching. So I kind of wonder, like, are you guys all of a sudden, like, are you just going to be that much more fundamentally sound? Are you going to hit the right gaps? Are you going to be coverage? Is it going to be sound? Like those little things make up for a lot of the differences when it comes to talent gaps or that sort of stuff. So,
well, especially now when the talent gap is leveling out, right? Like we're starting to see players that would go be a third string at Notre Dame, Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. Now they're going and playing starting minutes for lower schools, where now, I mean, that's why we saw, for example, Marshall give Alabama everything they had for 50 minutes, because you're starting to see guys that would sit, and then 1 year play at those kind of schools. Now they're playing 3-4 years at these other schools. So it makes it way more of a coaching game than it even was before, where good coaching is going to get you over the hump 95% of the time.
It'll be fun to watch, and especially because Bill has brought kind of the New England Patriots mentality, where he's kind of keeping everything close to the vest, not letting people kind of see, what's going on in practice and things like that. So I'm very eager to see where it goes. I'm also, to Ben's comment, very eager to see where this chick Jordan is on the sidelines, or how close she is to the field. Can we separate? Can all this off-season crap be left in the off-season, and then come game time, she's somewhere in the booth or the stand, not the booth, in the box. Give her a luxury box, not the booth. You don't need to be calling plays or nothing. But how much of a distraction is she?
Now that
that's
the radios
double
and the
wide
helmet.
headset.
Yeah, she's gonna get one now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a
She's got
double
the green
wide,
sticker.
and she's gonna be right here beside Belichick.
She's gonna be calling the plays.
Yeah.
The Jordan special. Put in the Jordan special.
Right?
Oh, me. Well, look, we're almost done, but before we get out of here, definitely wanted to talk about the top 25. The coaches poll has come out already. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up right now. And we can go ahead and take her up. And I don't have it there. So I'll get it on my phone. While I'm doing that, shout out to the people that are watching. Misador in the comments saying UCF is going to be good this year. And Colin, another one of the Georgia guys.
Yeah, can Scott Frost return him back that quickly? Might be a little premature, but yeah, I would like to see him do better there.
We shall see. And then shout out to one of the Georgia guys, Colin P, saying it's close to them dog days of summer. Zagnan said, real question, Bill is making $10 million a year. Why come man can't buy a sweatshirt? Well, or maybe look, that's his style. Okay,
that's his style.
That's what he does.
That's Jordan's brand all over him right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh.
Leave that one alone.
All year. Gonna hear about this daggone Jordan nonsense. Oh my goodness. All right. So we have it here. It is Texas at 1, Ohio State at 2, Penn State at 3, Georgia at 4, Notre Dame at 5. You got Clemson, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami to round out the 6 through 10. Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, and Ole Miss to round out the top 15. SMU, Florida, Tennessee, Indiana, and K-State to round out the top 20. And Texas A&M, Iowa State, BYU, Texas Tech, and Boise State round out the top 25. I know some of you North Carolina fans are a little shocked. We're not on the list. Don't go searching for how far down we are. Just look at it as this is potential. We have room to grow. All right.
52.
Oh my God. Other than that, what are your guys' thoughts? Obviously, we have that matchup in week 1 with number 1 Texas, number 2 Ohio State. It's going to be a blockbuster matchup. But what are your thoughts of the top 5? What are your thoughts of the overall top 25?
I'll start. I think they got the top 7 teams right. Maybe not necessarily the order. I feel like those are the best 7 teams in college football this year. Alabama, way too high for me. They do not scream the 8th best team in the country to me. Now, Kalen DeBoer has his OC back. Ryan Grubbs is no longer in Seattle. He's now back at Alabama. So maybe there's some success there, but they lost so much. I don't believe that they're a playoff team this year. LSU, I like them being in the top 10. Miami, if Carson Beck's good, that's a top 10 team. The top 11 to 15, I don't have a problem there. Florida is a big one for me. Mm-hmm. If DJ Lagway is healthy, this is a playoff team to me. DJ Lagway, before he got hurt, 6-1 Florida was with Lagway as the starter. And the only game they lost he left early against Georgia, where they had the lead in the second quarter before he got hurt.
Right.
So Lagway in this Florida offense is legit. Napier has the defense playing really well. It's a gauntlet, but Lagway showed last year that he can get them through a lot of those tough games. Now, he has a hard time staying healthy, so we'll see if that happens there. But if he's healthy, that's a playoff team to me. If he misses a couple games, they're gone. Probably not top 25. Like, that's how influential of a player he is to them. SMU lost a lot, so we'll see what happens there. Tennessee, see what they got at quarterback. And then 19 to 25, I don't have a problem with either.
Oh, yeah. Will, man, you see you guys dead spot in the middle at 15. It's a great start. How confident are you in this? How do you feel?
A little higher than I thought they would be. This also, like, sometimes, like, I much prefer the coaches poll to say, what do coaches know versus some of the media guy. You got, like, Brett McMurphy posted his, and it is nothing like this. You know, and it's like, you're a national writer that has thousands of people following you, and you threw this garbage out there, and yet you got coaches who know the teams.
Off this too.
You know, and it's like that's the only thing that's kind of interesting. What I saw from this is Alex, the coaches called out your sleeper team at number 12 and said, there ain't no sleeper. We know that Illinois is coming this season. Because I remember hearing you talk about it, like, hey, look out for that.
Yeah, I think Illinois is legit this year.
And I want you all to hear this. Now, Alex, you started getting me thinking this a little bit more, but I looked at this and thought that number 17 and 18, Florida and Tennessee, were ranked way too high. I didn't think Tennessee should even be included in the top 25 to start off the season. They need to build their way back up. So that's kind of the things that I saw there. I was like, wow, they really are giving them some love right there when I don't think they should have.
Fair. Tennessee, my thought was it was a playoff team last year. Now they got the brakes beat off them in the playoff game last year against Ohio State, but it's still a playoff team. He's shown Heupel that he can have success with multiple quarterbacks.
Yeah. And
now their biggest loss for me isn't even Nico. It is Sampson, the running back, Dylan Sampson. Was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year last year. Obviously went pro. That is a massive loss for Tennessee.
Yeah. There's you brought up a great point about, like, well, what about SMU? How are you ranking them 16th with all this? So I do feel like that some of these coaches have given too much props for what last year's team is. I don't care.
I agree.
What last year's team was. Although, just like I gotta say, at number 19, you better show it to me, Coach Sig, because no, I don't like Indiana.
Now it's another year for them of heavy transfer portal, in key positions, like Fernando Mendoza transferred in from Cal. He's their starting quarterback this year. I think it's a match made in heaven for Mendoza and that Cignetti offense. I think it's a great fit. And we'll see what year 2 brings for them. But I think Indiana's legit. I don't know if they're playoff legit this year, but I think it's still a damn good football team they got there.
Which is great for them. I mean, the fact that he can make them top 20 is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're definitely not going to surprise anybody this year. Everybody's going to know who they are and where they're coming from, especially after their coach. EK, you guys round out the top 5. What do you think about that? And what do you think about this list?
The list as a whole, I mean, there's nothing terribly or that stands out that's tragic or horrific. I guess with everything that they both touched on, I find it, I can bounce a little bit more off of that than my own thoughts. So 1 through 7, I agree, is probably the top. I don't think there's that big of a drop off with Alabama and LSU from 1 through 7. I'm giving 1 through 7 the benefit of the doubt based off of the last season. I'm not sure I can quite get on board with Alex of seeing how Florida is a playoff team with that gauntlet of a schedule, but we're going to disregard Alabama, who still has outlandish talent with one of the better coaches in college football going into year 2. So
numbers backed it up. That's why I said with 6-1
you're
probably would have been 7-0 with Legway.
Look at, I don't want to be the SEC apologist. I've looked at Florida's schedule, and that is
it was brutal last year too.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was, and they weren't very good last year. Yes, it ended better.
Legway was 6-1. Legway was 6-1.
Napier was a game away from getting fired,
and then he put in the right quarterback, and look what happened.
And he turned it around.
Away from getting
He
fired.
turned it around.
So it makes no sense to me how you're taking an 8-5 team and you're putting completely on the quarterback, which is what you did, whether they're going to be a playoff team or not.
Didn't we just do the exact same thing with Michigan, though? Did we not just do the exact same thing with Michigan?
Michigan is a complete team who, if they have a quarterback, that puts them into the playoff as a contender. You're saying without Lagway, they have no chance. If Mikey Keene comes in, Michigan might still be really good this year. But you're saying without Lagway, they're done.
Okay. So I said Michigan this year, easy schedule. That's why I said I do still believe that they're a playoff team. Florida, without Lagway in that gauntlet, they don't have a chance. He was one game away.
But they have the gauntlet.
But here's my thing, is they had the gauntlet last year. Napier went with Graham Mertz off the bat. That'd be 5 games. Was one game away from getting fired. Makes the switch in the tougher part of the schedule and go 6-1.
I appreciate what you're saying. And what you're saying, like, the math adds up. But I just don't. That's not the guy I would bankroll. Like,
fair.
The 8-5 squad. So no, it's cool. It's a bold opinion, which I think it's. I'm just having.
Who would you put ahead of them? How far would you drop them? How far would you drop them? Would you drop them out of the top 25, or who would you put ahead of them?
I think it was more the fact that I said they'd be a playoff team.
Yeah,
it's the playoff take.
That's the part
the playoff.
But it's
my mind.
To me, Michigan and Florida last year into this year, are essentially identical. 8-5, both of them, both solid rosters. Just need a quarterback.
Except for Florida plays Florida's schedule, and you play your schedule.
Yeah, I'm not denying that part.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I think that's a wild take, and I hope you turn out to be right, because that would be a hell of a thing for college football this year if Florida ends back up on top. So thank you for letting me rant and rage about that.
The one thing I'll bring up is we're talking about that gauntlet there. So he missed the Texas game. They got smoked. So this is the last 8 games he played in 7 of them. The bowl game against Tulane, they won 33-8. Played Florida State. They beat the brakes off them.
Just for transparency, regular bowl games, throwing it out the window.
Okay, so we'll cut that one out.
Yeah. It doesn't change much, but just for the sake of
Ole Miss, LSU, they were beating Georgia before Legway got hurt. So that's the loss that Legway had. Kentucky, and he missed the Tennessee game, so it was UCF was the other one. But to me, that's still a tough schedule compared. It's similar to what they have this year. To me, it screams the exact same thing as last year with a better supporting cast on offense.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of weight on that kid, but that's cool. Hopefully, he turns out to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you're putting a lot on that kid.
Yep. Yes, I am. The same. I'm putting a ton on Bryce Underwood this year. So I was like, it's the exact same for me. Those two teams.
No pressure, no diamonds.
So sorry, I pulled another fight out with the Michigan guy, but but with that said, like, I think we were bouncing around the top 10 or our top 12, and I feel like anybody in that top 13 you can put almost anywhere. And like
I see what you did there.
It's gonna shake itself. It's gonna shake itself out one way or another. That wasn't intentional, but I'm glad it worked out that way.
It's pretty convenient.
Like, I don't think Ohio State is the number 2 team, at least to start the year. But the good thing is they play each other, so it gets earned on the field like right away. Yeah. If they come out and they beat Texas, they're the number 1 team. Don't
Texas
anticipate
breaks off them, I think.
Yeah, but the point is they play, so you get your questions answered pretty fairly or early on. Clemson, LSU. If Clemson beats LSU, Clemson's going to be at least in the top 2 by the second week. So a lot of the stuff works itself out. And I honestly don't see a team that's in the top 12 that I'm like, in past years, I was like, Georgia's number 1. Like, I have no doubt in my mind. Or Alabama's number 1. Right. I have zero doubt. I don't see that when I look at this year's top 12 and top 13, and I love that. So I could see anybody for the most part. I don't see Illinois or Arizona State winning at all, but I could see almost anybody else in that range doing it, even Michigan.
See, I was gonna say, like I said, I don't see us winning a national championship this year. So I just wanted to poke that you conveniently cut it off right there.
No, but if I'm taking your squad versus Illinois squad, then I think you have a better chance than Illinois. I think you're a better team than Illinois. I think you don't have a better quarterback than Arizona State, but you're a better team than Arizona State.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah. All right, I'm done ranting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see about that Florida thing, because I am the belief that they had a team, and I've always been a Napier guy myself since he came from Louisiana, but I always thought they were a quarterback away from challenging, and I thought that Georgia game
Mertz. Like what did you expect with Graham freaking Mertz?
Yeah, you're not going to do anything there.
There's such a difference between the two of those guys, just but I get your point.
National champions last year. Had Lagway just been healthy, man.
No, we're not going that far.
I didn't say that.
Just being a dick.
But yeah, no. So I mean, look. So that's the coaches poll top 25. Obviously, all of this will shake up after week 1 and going down further. I guarantee this is not what the top 25 will look like right before. Right before conference
people anyway, so
right, and it's going to switch up left to right. Everybody's going to have their opinions on it, so this is definitely a good bit of conversation. But look, we got to go ahead and let you guys go. We just wanted to come talk to you about week 1, week 0, and week 1, getting you guys ready for the season, and then also let you know about the coaches poll, the top 25, and kind of where we think kind of the direction of some of these teams will be going. And hey, it's all up in the air. We don't know who's going to get hurt here. We don't know what guy's going to say. They're not, you're not, living up to what they told me they were going to do when he leaves midseason. We don't know any of this stuff in this new college football. So it's going to be very exciting to see even week 0 when you have, Western Kentucky playing. Yes, I love it. I'm here for all of it. But we are going to go ahead and head out of here. No, we didn't talk Arch because we're going to talk about them all season. So, look, we're heading out. This has been College Football Update for my guy, Alex Loosemore. There's EK Holiday, and UC South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer. It's your boy, Sean Spencer. We will see you guys next time. Stay tuned. 18 days away till college football returns. Can't get here soon enough. Peace, people.
College Football Update. It's with your host, Sean Spencer.